All right, so this review worksheet is going to review simplifying ratios, finding unit rates, telling whether two ratios are proportional, and solving proportions even with story problems. So why don't we start with, I'm going to do, since I've been doing the odds with you guys, I'm going to do the evens for once and let you do the odds. So when it says simplify each ratio, by the way, this is from section 5.1. You did this in 5.1 homework. We're going to look at number 2. That's one way you can write a ratio is by using a colon. The most common way of writing a ratio is using a fraction. And when it says simplify, when I think of simplifying or reducing, I think of fractions. So how would I write this as a fraction? (49/7). Okay. And then what can I reduce this? Because it does say to simplify by 7. Okay. So if you reduce by 7, what's that make the top number? What's that make the bottom number? So 49 of something to 7 is the same as having 7 of those same somethings to 1, every one. Okay, for 4 and 6, it says find the unit rate. This was also from section 5.1. And how do you find the unit rate? You divide. But the order you divide in matters. So I want you to think about this. For number 4, is it more likely to have someone say ounces per dollar or dollars per ounce? Yeah, dollars per ounce. So we're going to put 273 on top, dollars, divided by 3 ounces. The abbreviation for ounces is OZ. What do you get when you divide that, Hannah? 0.91. And what's my label going to be? Dollars per ounce, exactly. So actually 91 cents, but yes, we do have to put the dollar sign. 91 cents per ounce is what that would give. Make sure you're putting both labels for your unit rates. What about the next one? Number 6 is kind of confusing. Boxes per book or books per box? You're going to put the books in the box, right? Probably more than one book. So books in the box. You're right. Books in the box, right? If I did boxes per book, you're not putting the boxes in the book. Doesn't make sense. So books per box. 96 books are going to fit inside of 12 boxes. So find the unit rate. I got to divide that. Maddie Cheeseman was 96 divided by 12. 8. And then what's my label going to be? Books per box. That's right. Box, just singular box, right? Books per box. 8 books per box. That's what I can fit in there. Okay, that was a review of section 5.1. Just a real quick review of it. Now we're moving into section 5.2. This is the homework that you guys turned in today, which was asking you a bunch of yes/no questions. Are they proportional? Are they not proportional? Yes or no? Same questions here. There's lots of different ways you can tell. You could reduce them, you could divide them, or you could cross multiply them. And since most of you said you like cross multiplying, why don't we do that? What's 3 times 20? 60. So write down 60. If you're using cross products, you need to write down what these products are. What's 4 times 9? Are those the same? No. So is this proportional? No. Same thing you had to turn in on your 5.2. I just need to see what your cross products were. Or for those of you that use the dividing method, write down what both the decimals are. They're going to be different, but write them down. I don't care how you do it. Just make sure you show your work. Number 10, if you want to use cross products, that's probably the easiest way because you don't need a calculator here. What's 8 times 3? Okay, thank you. What about 12 times 2? Are those the same? Are these proportional? Yes. You think I'm going to put questions that easy on tomorrow's quiz? Yeah, I am. Why wouldn't I? How hard was that? Did you do a whole homework on this? Yeah, you did. You did. All right, now 5.4, this is the one that's due tomorrow that you guys need to finish up for tomorrow, was having you solve proportions, and we're still going to cross multiply. But instead of you telling me if they're proportional, you have to tell me what number for B makes it proportional. So you can still use cross products. Because I know in a proportion, the cross products are equal. So what's B times 9? 9B. And I know if this is proportional, that should be equal or the same as what's 5 times 5? 25, those should be the same. So I divide by 9 to figure out what B is going to be. Parker, what's 25 divided by 9? So 7 repeats. So it repeats. Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, your calculator rounds that last digit, right? So the last digit would have been a 7 that it rounded to an 8. But yeah, it does go on forever. It's a 7 repeating. All right, flip it over. Number 14. What's B times 10? 10B. What's 3 times 4? 12. Divide by 10. It's 12 divided by 10. 1.2. All right. So B has to be 1.2 if those are going to be proportional. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to look at some story problems, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to set up our proportion. We're going to cross multiply it. I'm going to leave the cross multiplying to you for time's sake. Okay. But I'm going to help you set up a proportion. Number 16 says 1 package of blueberries costs $3. That is a ratio. How many packages? 1. How much did it cost? $3. Okay, that's a ratio. Then it says how many packages? So where do I put my X at? Top or bottom? Top with the other pack. How many packages would it cost for $9? Okay, real quick, just what's 3 times X?
3x.
What's 1 times 9? What's 9 divided by 3? 3. And what does X stand for? Packages, not dollars. If you put dollars, you get it wrong. You get minus a half point on tomorrow's quiz. So make sure you're labeling it correctly. Just put 3 packages. That's why I like labeling the ratio here. So I know I'm getting the right label. Number 18. Abhasra took a trip to Malaysia. Upon leaving, she decided to convert all of her ringgits, that's the currency in Malaysia, back into dollars. How many dollars did she receive if she exchanged 24 ringgits at a rate of, here's your rate, 4 ringgits to $1? Write that down. 4 ringgits for $1. Basically means that a ringgit is the same as a quarter then, right? Okay, so where do I put 24 ringgits in my other ratio? On the top with the other ringgits. And where's my X go? X dollars goes on bottom. Cross multiply, and you can solve that. I'll let you do it. Number 20, Eliza reduced the size of a frame to a height of 2 inches. What is the new width? If it was originally, here's your rate, 4 inches tall and 8 inches wide. So 4 inches, I'm going to use T for tall, over 8 inches. I'm going to use what for wide, do you think? Yeah, I'm practical, aren't I? So she wants to reduce this frame height so that it has a new height of 2 inches, and she wants to know what the new width is. So if she wants to know what the new width is, where's my X got to go? On the bottom where the width would go. And that means the new height. Height, by the way, is another word for tall, right? So that 2-inch height is going to go on top for how tall it is. Cross multiply, label your answer. And lastly, number 22. Each pair of figures are similar. Find the missing side. Now, similar figures, and we'll talk more about these later, but similar figures are always proportional. They are the same shape, but different sizes. Okay, what keeps them, it's like, for example, if you ever insert a picture on your iPad, like a keynote presentation, have you ever like made the picture bigger by selecting in the corner and dragging it down? It keeps everything proportional. If you just select in the middle and drag it down, it makes it really tall and skinny, or really short and fat, and you don't want to do that because it's not proportional. You just change the shape. But if you drag down by the diagonal, it keeps the shape the same. That's kind of what we have here. Similar figures are proportional. What is the height of the big triangle? 8. What's the height of the small triangle? X. That's got to be proportional to the, go back to the big triangle. What's the slanted side on the big triangle? 12. And what's the slanted side on the small triangle? Okay, let's cross multiply this. This is how easy number 21 is going to be as well. What's X times 12? What's 8 times 6? 48 divided by 12 is 4.
Add the alpha
Almost done. You got to answer number 18 and 20. Answer them, and you're halfway done with this worksheet. And we did this in 10 minutes, guys. I'll go back down. That's what your quiz is going to be tomorrow. This worksheet here is going to be a big chunk of what's on your quiz tomorrow. So if you feel pretty comfortable doing this, I know we sped through it. Should be good on your quiz.